What if I told you that a golden benefactor for your liver and eyesight grows right in the ordinary woods? We're talking about a vibrantly orange mushroom, one that's never infested. This isn't mere chance, but the result of sophisticated chemical defenses. In this episode, we'll delve into the chanterelle's secret composition, from its unique hinomannose to its rare vitamin D2. You'll receive a precise protocol on how to identify the genuine article, how to avoid poisoning by a deceptive look-alike, and, most importantly, how to prepare chanterelles without destroying their medicinal potency. The archives are open. Subject: Chanterelle. Part 1. Golden Arrival. Where does the master of survival dwell? The common chanterelle is no mere forest fungus, easy to find and toss into your basket. In our records, it's listed as one of the most potent and resilient organisms. To understand its strength, we must first examine how and where it lives. The chanterelle is a true cosmopolite. Its golden descent lands across vast territories, from the cool, mist-shrouded coniferous forests of Scandinavia to the sun-drenched oak woods of southern climes. Pause. Look closer. Gently brush aside fallen needles or last year's leaves. Most likely, beside that first chanterelle, an entire family is hiding. They weave through the forest floor like a network, forming fairy rings, and to biologists, as a developed mycelial network. The secret to their vitality lies in a close alliance with trees. This process is called mycorrhiza. Chanterelles select the strongest species. This isn't parasitism, but an honest business deal refined over millions of years. The fungus envelops the tree's roots, acting like an auxiliary pump. It draws moisture and precious minerals from deeper soil layers. In return, the tree shares sugars and carbohydrates, produced via photosynthesis. This symbiotic arrangement makes the chanterelle exceptionally hardy. It receives sustenance from the forest giant, rendering it impervious. But what truly astonishes researchers is its relationship with weather. Most fungi are incredibly delicate. Extreme heat causes them to dry out. A week of rain, and they begin to rot, turning to mush. The chanterelle, however, possesses a unique cellular structure. When drought strikes, it doesn't perish but simply enters a dormant state. It's as if it presses a pause button on its organism, halting growth. As soon as the first morning rain falls, the chanterelle springs back to life. It can stand in the forest for weeks, remaining fresh, firm, and vibrant. While other mushrooms have had time to be born, age, and disappear. You see not just food, but the outcome of an organism perfectly adapted. It's a biological fortress capable of befriending the strong, defending against the weak. Part 2. Secret Weapon. Why are chanterelles never worm-eaten? You find what appears to be a perfect, robust porcini or a beautiful boletus. You slice it, only to discover inside a network of tunnels and pests. The flesh of a mushroom is a valuable nutritional resource. Flies, beetles, slugs eagerly await the moment to inhabit a succulent cap. All mushrooms succumb to this attack, all except the chanterelle. In nature's archives, the chanterelle is noted as a zone of absolute sterility. You can comb hundreds of hectares of forest, examine thousands of specimens, but you will never find a worm-eaten chanterelle. It might be old, crushed, or slightly dried out, but internally it will always be perfectly clean. It seems almost magical, but in reality we are witnessing the result of precise biological weaponry, embedded directly within the mushroom's cells. And the name of this weapon? Hinomannose. Hinomannose is a special substance, a polysaccharide that is entirely harmless to humans, but lethal to any forest parasite. Its mechanism of action is so ingenious that human technologies are still trying to replicate it. Unlike chemical poisons that simply intoxicate an organism, hinomannose acts selectively. When an insect larva attempts to bite off even a piece of the chanterelle, This substance immediately penetrates its system and blocks the transmission of nerve impulses. The parasite simply freezes. Its nervous system is disabled. But the chanterelle has gone even further in its defense. Most natural antibiotics or protective agents only target adult insects. The chanterelle, however, strikes at the very root of the problem. Hinomannose has the unique ability to dissolve the protective casings of parasite eggs, literally burning away future generations of pests before they even have a chance to hatch. This is complete territory neutralization. This is precisely why insects, on a genetic level, have learned to avoid chanterelles. For them, it's not food, but a deadly trap from which there is no escape. But here lies the most fascinating aspect for us. When we consume chanterelles, this molecular marvel enters our bodies. We are not insects. We have a completely different nervous system structure. Therefore, for us, hinomannose is not dangerous. On the contrary, it begins to act as a gentle, natural cleansing agent. It helps the body fight off unwanted guests who may have been undermining our health. This is a natural detox that works quietly, effectively, and without the side effects that often accompany pharmacy medications. However, this secret weapon has one Achilles heel that almost no one knows about. Hinomannose is a very delicate and fragile substance. It fears high temperatures and ordinary table salt. The moment you toss chanterelles into a hot pan, the hinomannose immediately breaks down. The mushroom remains tasty and aromatic, but its primary weapon vanishes forever. You get food, but you lose protection. Understanding this secret is the first step in a genuine health restoration operation. And in the next part, we will explore what other treasures this golden flesh hides. Part 3. Service Center. How do chanterelles repair our bodies? If hinomannose is the external shield, its internal composition is an advanced laboratory. One of the most potent natural tools for regulating liver function, and the main role is played by a substance with a complex name, ergosterol. Our liver is the body's main filter, working around the clock to cleanse the blood of toxins and metabolic waste products. Over time, this filter becomes clogged. Its cells become fatigued. Ergosterol, then, is a sort of service engineer for liver cells. It not only improves their function but helps them regenerate at a deep level. Chanterelle compounds can gently cleanse the bile ducts and aid the liver in rebuilding its structure. This is particularly important in today's world, where the burden is colossal. Chanterelles work very gently. They provide the resources to manage on its own. But the chanterelle's functions don't end with cleansing. Look at its color, that bright, almost luminous orange hue. In nature, such color is rarely accidental. It signals an incredibly high concentration of carotenoids. You've surely heard that carrots are beneficial for eyesight because they contain a lot of beta-carotene. Well, in chanterelles, their content is comparable and sometimes even higher. But there's one important nuance. In mushrooms, these substances are present in a combination that is significantly more effectively assimilated. Vitamin A is a fundamental element for the health of our eyes. It helps us see better in twilight, protects the retina from fatigue. Furthermore, one more rare component is noted in the archives. Trimethanolic acid is a specific compound that scientists discovered relatively recently. Its main task is to assist the immune system in fighting viruses that attack liver tissues. It acts as a molecular marker, highlighting threats for the immune system. We cannot forget the rarest treasure hidden within the chanterelle: vitamin D2. Most people are accustomed to obtaining it from fish or through sun exposure, but chanterelles are a rare plant-based source of this sunshine vitamin. It is critically important for the strength of our bones, the stability of our nervous system. An astonishing picture emerges. The chanterelle is not just a forest delicacy. It's a service center that nature has packaged in a beautiful, golden form. But for this center to function, two conditions must be met: correctly identify and prepare correctly. Part 4. Safety Protocol. How not to bring a poisonous mushroom home. The chanterelle has its doppelganger, the false chanterelle. Hygrophorapsis or antiocha is not deadly poisonous, but it can cause severe stomach upset. To ensure your quest for health doesn't turn into a problem, we activate the comparison protocol. Remember 3 golden archive rules. Examine the underside of the cap. A true chanterelle does not have gills under its cap. What you see are thick, forked folds that literally grow into the stem. A false chanterelle always has thin, dense gills that are clearly separated from the stem. Check for infestation. This is the simplest and most reliable test. As we've established, a true chanterelle is never worm-eaten. If you find a mushroom, but you see holes or insect tunnels inside, it's a fake. Leave it in the forest. Assess the color and scent. A real mushroom has a uniform color from egg yolk yellow to bright orange and smells of fresh fruit or peach. A false chanterelle is usually brighter with an almost red center and has an unpleasant earthy odor. Mushroom picking requires 100% certainty. If you have even the slightest doubt, do not take the mushroom. Part 5. Activation Technology. How to preserve forest power. The object's benefit depends not on how much we ate, but on how we prepared it. The chanterelle is an extremely capricious tool. The primary enemy of the chanterelle is high temperature. When heated above 45 to 50 degrees, the molecular bonds begin to break down. The same happens upon contact with ordinary table salt. If you fry chanterelles with potatoes, you will completely destroy their molecular shield. You'll eat tasty fiber, but you'll lose the effect of liver cleansing and regeneration. To activate its resources, chanterelles should be dried at a temperature not exceeding 40 degrees. After drying, the mushroom transforms into a concentrate of benefits. It contains an impressive array of minerals: potassium, copper, and zinc. Potassium is responsible for heart rhythm, copper for iron absorption, and zinc, without which the immune system cannot function. Dried chanterelles also contain valuable antioxidants that protect against premature aging. How to use this resource correctly. If you are using dried chanterelle powder, the standard prophylactic dose for an adult is 1 teaspoon leveled off per day. The powder can be added to porridges, salads, or sauces, but only those that have already cooled to room temperature. A cycle of such natural service typically lasts about a month. Protocol of limitations. Contraindications. Despite all its benefits, the chanterelle has its limits. Firstly, its childhood, from 3 to 5 years old. As a child's digestive system is not yet ready to digest fungal chitin. Secondly, pregnancy and lactation. During this time, all active natural remedies should be used only after consulting a doctor. And of course, individuals with acute stomach ailments or kidney failure should exercise caution. The chanterelle is living proof that nature has already created everything necessary for our protection. We don't need to invent complex chemical formulas. We simply need to learn to use what grows at our feet correctly. We are closing the chanterelle file, but our journey through the archives is just beginning. Next time, we will turn our attention to an object that defies winter frosts. It ripens earliest when other plants are just waking, and hides within it the secret of powerful protection for your blood vessels. We will explore the cloudberry, the season's first berry, capable of restarting your body after a long winter. The archive continues its work. See you next time.